Hello and welcome Welcome to OzByDrone. I'm Greg.
Hi everybody, I'm John. Great to be with you.
It is absolutely great to be with you. And just before we start, a little quick standard disclaimer. We're using the newest version of Wirecast, the latest and greatest in technology that comes to us from the wonderful folks at Telestream. Just a quick little warning. When this came out, version 14, they said, here it is, we fixed all of the bugs, and 24 hours later came out 14.0.1 to fix a rare bug that never happens in real world, but there you go. So we're going to see how we go today by the seat of our pants. So far, we can already see that the video quality for John seems a lot better. And are you there, John? Come on, let's see.
Well, I am here. I'm a little bit delayed, I think, but you know, that's like life for me anyway. Just for you, some very funny ones too. So I'm looking forward to getting those today. Great to be back, though.
You know what, though? Just before we go on, it was perfect, absolutely perfect until we actually went live. So yeah, there we go. A couple of quick little messages at the start. So our guest was going to be ColdFlake today. Now, ColdFlake is the guy behind Ready Set Drone and also not Ready Set Drone, behind No Limit Drones. That's better. ColdFlake, the guy behind No Limit Drones, he is unfortunately in a part of the world where it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I think he fell asleep. I did try and ring him before. If he comes in, we'll definitely put him up as our guest a little bit later. But in the meantime, we don't have a planned guest. So Lloyd's going to go and put the rendezvous link in there in the chat room. And if anyone wants to join in and say hello, particularly if you've used the No Limit Drone software, that'd be really cool to have a chat to you. But we've got an exclusive on the information we're going to present to you today as well. There's a new Mavic core board. Let's call it a new Mavic. Mavic 2 Pro, Mavic 2 Zoom Plus, for lack of a better description, that's coming from the people at No Limit Drones. We'll talk about that a little bit later today. Anything else happening of interest for you this week, John?
Well, I'd like to report each week how we're pressing on with the MOS and regulations in Australia. So we are still breathing down the neck of getting registered on the 28th of September. There are some delays and there are problems with the registration portal. So we think they're going to play the COVID card, which has been used quite a bit these days. But, you know, due to COVID restrictions, we've got a delay. And that might be a good idea. I mean, it is a big job, but we're expecting a big uptake. A reminder, though, that if you're a recreational flyer in Australia, you don't need to register until...
Gotta love technology. Anyway, look, we'll come back to John in a minute, but in the meantime, it's time to get started with the news. And as always, our news is brought to you by AirData UAV. Is your drone healthy, or is it about to surprise you on your next flight? Don't wait to find out. Discover under the hood information and review the early signs of problems before you take off. Use the code OzByDrone20 to get a 20% discount, or even better still, get a free version. You can get a totally free copy of AirData UAV and try it out. But once you get hooked, you'll like it and you'll want to get that extra service from that. So a really good piece of software. Now, as we get started today, now, John, the first clip, we've got no vision with it at all. We've got audio only that I'm going to play. Now, I'll get my producer to just start the audio now and hope that to make sure that you can hear it. Now, just let's play it and give me a thumbs up if you can hear it. Okay, that was the intro. We were going to start it a little bit later, but here we go. It's coming now. Coming. Apologies, it was queued up, but that was our mistake.
420 heavy, Kennedy Tower, runway 13 right, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, 13 right, Delta 420 heavy.
Delta 420 heavy, wind 200 at 10, runway 13 right, clear for takeoff.
20 heavy, clear for takeoff, 13 right.
Okay,
and
so
Tower
obviously...
Delta 420 heavy needed to abort the takeoff.
Delta 420 heavy, roger, do you require any assistance? You can turn left via Lima.
Turn left via Lima, that we don't need assistance at this time, Delta 420 heavy.
Just some average
Delta
conversation
420
so
Heavy,
far.
you know if you're going to go back in line or back to the gate?
We're going to need to go back to the gate for Delta 420 Heavy.
Delta 420 Heavy or Roger, turn right onto Bravo short of
You know
Kilo
what?
Golf.
I think I've got the wrong
and
video
know where you
downloaded.
need to go in. Do you have the reason for the issue?
Let's kill that.
We had a disparity in our airspeed indicators.
Let's stop that. I am so embarrassed. So look, there is some audio from another clip that I got the wrong one, and it's actually of... Oh, shut up. It's two pilots coming into LAX, and they reported sighting a guy in a jetpack off their side as they were coming in. And this was at... Lloyd, you've seen the clip. It's at 3,000 feet, I think it was, from memory.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Did they get a photo of it?
Well, they didn't get a photo, but we've got some exclusive video from someone on board. You want to check this out? Let's go with that clip.
To infinity and beyond.
Now, I play that in jest, but ultimately a jetpack out the side of an aeroplane, I wouldn't believe it if there was one plane that saw it. But in this case, actually two different airline pilots, two different planes, reported seeing the same thing at 3,000 feet. What do you say?
Jetpacks. I mean, for a start, you know, it's not an unmanned vehicle. And imagine that someone rings the FAA, so they're ringing around the FAA. Well, is it airworthy? Is it legal? Is it? You'd have to put your hand up. I mean, who even in the FAA may have even flown a jetpack before or know anything about it? It's a tough one, you know. But it just shows, you know, it shows me again how the regulator's going to constantly get surprised in the future as new things take to the air. Probably is illegal to fly around aeroplanes because there is an overarching rule that says you can't create a hazard to an aeroplane, personal property, with whatever you're flying. But still, that's amazing. Whatever, before you know it.
Yeah. Just in terms of the height, though, 3,000 feet. Like, we've seen jetpacks before doing their stuff, usually over water or over unpopulated areas and all of that kind of stuff. I've never seen one anywhere at that kind of altitude.
No, that's totally new to me too. A big surprise. Maybe had a bit too much thrust on and went a bit high, and he thought it was going. I mean, you'd soon get cold. There's no doubt about it. 2 degrees per 1,000 feet. You feel the temperature drop off pretty quick when you get much higher than that.
Now, I'm going to give you a mental image here because I've got a view that I don't think it really was a jetpack, but I would have an absolute laugh if someone got some sort of other unmanned lift device, and let's call it an inflatable jetpack guy. I think that's more likely than actually having someone in a jetpack at 3,000 feet, but it would be hilarious to look at nonetheless. We've definitely got a lot of delay here today. So let's move on to our second story, getting into something a little bit more serious. Or in this case, not. This is a delivery service. Let's just play the clip first of all.
Okay, my package is here. Yeah, just drop it by the stool thingy over there. Yeah.
So this is a supposed drone delivery service in Lagos, and what company offers that service, and is the drone safe from theft? These were some of the reactions to this video, which has spread on Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, TikTok, and LinkedIn. But as it turned out, it was a computer-generated graphics of that particular footage, but something amusing to look at as well. Do you think we'll ever get to that point where someone will be actually communicating and talking to the drone? John, this is not going to work today. This is not going to work today.
Happening.
There's too much lag for us to have a communication.
I think you could look at as for.
I might do this. I'll bail from you today, and I'm going to put Lloydie in there, unscripted. I don't know if it's Wirecast or the internet today, but we'll put Lloyd in there in the hot seat and wish you good luck with the rest of your day. Okay, my producer's just going to... Thanks, John. Sorry about that. We'll put Lloyd in. And so, Lloyd, while we're putting your shot up there, what do you think about that one?
Well, I mean, I can't see that I'm going to be using a drone flying in and using my credit card on it. But, hey, you know, we're in Oklahoma. We'll be the last people to ever get it.
Yeah, indeed. Speaking of the last people to get anything, you're the last people to have super big protests in Oklahoma. I'm sure there's lots of things happening in the US, but this particular story, this is the moment on Saturday, August the 29th, when a drone flew an opposition flag into the sky above hundreds of marchers in Minsk, calling for the Belarusian President Alexander that guy to resign.
That's easy for you to say.
No, it's not. But just the idea of using drones to go and carry signs around as part of protesting. I mean, everyone's heard of using drones to monitor protests, but also using them to convey messages and carry flags.
Yeah, and you know, this is a country this is in Belarus, correct?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, they're part of the old Soviet Union. So they've been having protests for the last 30 years anyways, whenever the Soviet Union fell. So
this was Alexander Lukashenko. I had a look at it while I was watching that clip play. Lukashenko.
Yeah. Lukashenko. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, personally, of course, you know, we're having our protest here. I don't think most of the people protesting here in the States are going to take the time to put up a drone to protest with here. You know, it's too easy to get knocked down by the rocks that are being thrown around. So, yeah, that was a peaceful protest, though, that they were showing there.
Yeah. There's all sorts of protests happening around the world at the moment. Just an interesting story over here in Australia. The Victorian police recently arrested someone for protesting against government measures relating to COVID. But on the same day and in the same press conference, he's saying about this person that they were, you know, doing some bad things and breaking the law, and it was a serious matter. But in the same press conference, they're saying, well, we support these people protesting about Black Lives Matter. So right. It's an interesting about the double standard about protesting, certainly about the government perspective and the twist, because it wasn't the police that actually made that decision. It was a directive from the government there. Yeah, yeah.
And that's the way it is in a lot of states. I'm just glad that I live in Oklahoma, where we're kind of taking it all in stride. We're just looking around, scratching our heads saying, why? You know, and it doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on, it's just why, you know. So Oklahoma, we've been pretty lucky. So, and that's because, you know, we're all pretty fair-minded in this state. So, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, a couple of quick things. Just a reminder, our guest that we were going to have today, ColdFlake from No Limit Drones, he is asleep, assumedly, at 3 o'clock in the morning for him. He was going to be here, but I think he fell asleep. So anyone who wants to come in and join and be our guest, Lloyd's going to put that link in the chat room one more time today.
Yep.
Okay, in the meantime, we're going to go to one more quick story, and then we'll have a chat about the No Limit Drone stuff, even if he's not there. And this one is about Tesla. Now, no, Tesla is not making a drone, but CEO Elon Musk has issued a mea culpa in the case of a drone photographer who was told to stop filming at the company's Gigafactory. So this is one of the posts where the photographer's gone and posted and said, viewers, I need your help. And this is the kind of thing that's being photographed. They're building a Tesla gigafactory. And he was, approached by security and marched away, and he wasn't allowed to come back. But of course, as we know, taking off from public property, doesn't matter if you're flying over private property or not, you're allowed to do that. So he's gone and posted, a tweet and reached out directly to Elon Musk, and he actually got a reply back. And we've got the reply coming up on the screen. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, he says it right there. I think his security was a little overzealous in this case. And, that's good that, he's a rich guy that apparently can be approached by the common man. So that's good. And, as long as he was taken off and, like he says, not getting too close and not getting around people or over people, which is, within the law. It's what the law reads. So, yeah. And I'm glad Elon Musk stepped forward, just shows the kind of integrity he has. He might be a little on the nutty side, but hey, launching a Tesla to Mars, waste of money, but hey, it's his money to waste.
Absolutely. Well, let's waste some time now talking about the Mavic and hacking it. We were, as I said, going to have ColdFlake here. He's the guy behind No Limit Drones. But let me tell you about what's been happening. And if anyone wants to go to a web browser while we're talking today, nolimitdrones.com. No Limit Drones with a Z instead of an S. And check out their website. But the new product that they've got, if you can imagine a Mavic 2 Pro or a Mavic 2 Zoom, they've been having some trouble, and they, all of the other DJI drones, they were able to hack them, they were able to get around them, all of those kind of things. The Mavic 2 Pro and Zoom had a different bootloader that, did present a formidable target in terms of people reverse engineering and getting around it. But if we just put that photo up on the screen, the wonders of new versions of Wirecast.
Yep.
Let me get rid of that. Just click.
I'm sorry.
Okay. As I was saying,
deep breath.
I'm taking a deep breath. All of these bugs, of course, have been fixed. Wirecast is the best software on the market.
Oh, yeah.
So these are the products that are coming from No Limit Drones. And just go to the next shot. I'll let you flip through them a little bit. But basically, it's a Mavic 2 core board. It's the circuit board that drives a Mavic 2 drone. And those guys are now selling these boards. Now, I'm just trying to go to the website and find it. It was when it first came out, it was a pre-order at a pretty high price, but they soon reviewed that, and it was 300 and something pounds now that it's coming out for. But here's the deal. So if you're an existing Mavic 2 Pro or Mavic 2 Zoom user, you can go and get one of these boards, replace it, and it's got permanent root access to the drone. No limits, no restrictions. You can do whatever it is you want. And in fact, you can even modify the software yourself. Now, let me just see if I can get the... Here we go. So today we have some fantastic news. It was announced half a year ago that we were working on our own permanent rooted core board. Let's go back to the camera in the studio for the Mavic 2 series. People would have laughed at us and wished them good luck with that, thinking that it was just showing off and there wasn't much progress. So that's why they haven't mentioned it before today. And now they finally released it. Yes, the Mavic 2 No Limit Drones modded core board for the entire Mavic 2 series. So again, this is a total replacement of the circuit board in the Mavic 2. Now, the good thing is you can therefore don't have to worry about root access. The firmware on the bird is completely custom. It's completely different. And when you do updates on the drone, it's going to pull those updates from the No Limit Drone servers. So really, really good product. We did briefly mention it last week.
Yeah, I think we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah,
but at that time you thought it was just a
daughter board,
secondary, daughter board. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So have we got any questions in the chat about this product? I'm just going to try and bring up the chat.
Not yet, but I was going to put this up there. This when you were having problems with all the new features of Wirecast 14.0.1 or whatever that is you're using.
Mm-hmm.
And this is who's sponsoring the new Wirecast.
Brought to you by Disney.
That's their designers.
Oh, and look at that. It's gone and...
As I said. Actually, Mike Miller said that, yeah.
Okay.
But you notice I don't have my background either because I couldn't get the Wirecast to work for me. I don't know if that's my browser or what it was, but...
Yeah, just on that topic, Lloyd normally runs a fancy background and his presidential campaign and all of that kind of stuff, but he upgraded Wirecast too, and now all he's got is a green screen.
Yeah.
My producer's having a laugh.
I'll bet.
Yeah, so let me just go to the live dashboard, see if we got any questions in the room. Chat dashboard, there we go. Because we can't put them on the screen today, that's not working. Telestream drinking game. When Wirecast crashes, you take a shot. Yes, okay. E0.
After using it for a while, yeah.
I have told. Have I explained to my audience that the company Telestream actually wrote me a letter and said that they don't want to support me anymore because I find too many bugs that are, according to them, edge cases. There are bugs that no one else has.
Yeah, well, we know how that.
Good to see they incorporated the old features in Wirecast.
Yeah, this is going to be a Wirecast show rather than No Limit Drones. Best game ever.
Look, let me ask this. I'm going to go to, and I had some comments and questions from someone in Discord. Let me see if I can find that, because they were good questions. Who was it from? Call me Dash, I think it was. Dashy had some questions.
Yep. I don't know if it was John having the problems or if it was Wirecast, but I don't seem to be having the kind of delay that he did.
No, you're not. And he's using the Telestream client. You're using a web browser.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He's using that
iPhone
pocket version. Yeah.
No, I can't find it at the moment, but Dashy did have some good questions. It is a completely different board. If you, for example, crash the drone after replacing the board, yes, you can put the original one back in it and send it across to DJI for warranty if you do have a problem. That was one of the questions. Here we go, found it. Do they take DJI's updates and modify them, or is it their own from scratch? And do you use the DJI Go 4 app? Yes, you do use the Go 4 app to fly. And while I haven't had it direct from ColdFlake, I believe it is DJI firmware tweaked, and also with metadata pointing to their servers, not DJI servers. But the good news is the firmware, from your perspective as a user, you can tweak it more once you've actually got it on there. You've got full unencrypted access to the firmware. If you wanted to, you could do anything at all with it once you've got this board.
E0 said, where did they source the new NLD boards?
It's a very good question, and I think that might be a commercial in confidence answer from ColdFlake. He would basically say, I got them.
Yeah.
what else have we got? If the drone crashes due to a flaw with the modified logic board, here's the thing. It's an original board with different software and firmware that takes away limits. So if you do something that would have been prevented by one of those limits, you make the decision to do something beyond the original limits, then you've got to take responsibility for that.
Yeah, because I mean, you're taking away anything. Well, you don't have to take it all away, but you're making the choice to choose without the limits. And if you break it because of the fact that you chose to break the limits, well, that's on you.
And if we give an example, a certain biker droner dude decided he was going to go into super sport mode.
Right.
And he flew it very fast for a very long period of time and cooked the battery.
Burned out his batteries, yeah.
So, you've got to know what you're doing with your drone. It's not that there will be a flaw with the logic board. It's going to be that you're flying without any limits.
Yeah.
Now, what else have we got? Is tweaking something like Twerking? No. An engineer, a software company I used to deal with said just once I'd like to release a new version that doesn't break in 5 minutes. Okay. So it's still a DJI logic board. Yes, it is. And the quality of the components are unchanged. So think of this, and I'm not going to reveal anything that I think ColdFlake wouldn't reveal. But you've got a bootloader, and the bootloader is preventing people from loading some custom firmware. Now, if you worked out a way of putting your own bootloader in there that didn't have those restrictions, that would allow you to put any firmware on there you like. I'm pretty sure that that's what's happening. But there you go. Look, we'll leave it there. If people have got questions, Lloyd, can you bring them up during the rest of the show? And again, apologies. Yeah. ColdFlake slept. Wasn't his idea, I'm sure. Sleep does kind of happen automatically.
Yeah, that's why I took a nap before I started on this show tonight.
Are you saying we put you to sleep?
No, not at all.
And if anyone does want to come be a guest and join on the screen today, Lloyd will post the link one more time. In the meantime, our next story, Kelly Boyd standing next to Kennedy on a bluff overlooking a blazing basin smiles. He started that fire. Boyd piloted a drone that dropped balls of fiery chemicals called dragon eggs that ignited the burnout operation. The flames crawled down the basin, charring dry timber and foliage along the southeast edge of the 32,000-acre Grizzly Creek fire. That burned a barrier and it connected two other existing containment fires, creating a bigger barrier on the fire southern edge that prevented it from spreading any further south. So ultimately, these dragon eggs, something to drop from a drone, is an accelerant that's going to help make some good fire. An interesting use of drones that I wouldn't have thought of before.
Yeah, I mean, that's now, where was that at? Was that over there, or was it here?
Colorado. Colorado's
really?
Latest aerial assault weapon for wildfires.
Wow, that's awesome. Because, you would think by dropping something like that and burning the brush unnecessarily might harm the three-toed snog or something like that. One of those liberal things that Colorado likes to protect a lot of.
Yeah,
three-toed drop dragon eggs. Force multiplier.
Okay. This is going to be one of those shows today.
It is, yes. You put me in the hot seat, man.
I did. I put you in the hot seat without your set. You feel naked.
Yeah, exactly. I do.
Oh,
man.
Actually, let's not talk about that. Lloyd naked. No, we're not going to go there.
No, I won't stand up.
Speaking of the three-toed, what was it?
Snog.
Three-toed snog. Amazon tribes are using drones to track deforestation in the Brazilian rainforest. Ismael Mendes Brando from the indigenous rights group Comissão Pro Indo is pictured taking part in the drone training in this particular video.
Amazon tribes are learning to use technology to help protect their land from the impact of deforestation by illegal loggers and land grabbers in Brazil.
Nature, for us, is the life of the Indian. We don't want to see the jungle chopped down. If you chop it all down, it will definitely be hotter, and there won't be a river, or hunting, or pure air for us.
28-year-old Awapu Urawawa is one of a new generation learning to use drones to detect deforestation. He's part of a training program for indigenous communities and others who work in forest protection run by the World Wildlife Fund and local NGO, the Kanende Ethno-Environmental Defense Association.
They really accept the technology with open arms and pretty quickly start to use it.
Yeah. So a good use of drones again, and also just from an educational perspective, getting those people trained up is really cool as well.
That first gentleman they showed on there, he had that mask. Did that help him with controlling the drone better, or was that getting him in touch with nature so he could find what he was looking for in the Amazons?
It was a new type of FPV.
That's it. It must be one of those new ones that, that just sticks to your face, sort of like, Robin's mask and Batman and Robin, Anyways, sorry.
Okay. So this one was on Ken's show, and I'm sharing it here as well. Just out of interest, I was going to show John, but we're having one of those days. But let's play the clip. So typically, normally electric drones are what we know about today, but this one is a hybrid VTOL cargo drone. Normally we're thinking about air taxis. This particular autonomous drone is being designed to give cargo carrying helicopters a run for their money. And this is from Pipistrel. I think this, if I remember correctly, this is the same company that did actually make that that drone that was a passenger carrying drone that could have one, I can't remember if it was one or two people in it, but this is their latest cargo model.
Looks sort of like a flying whale, doesn't it?
A little bit. But we just need the sound that, like out of the Jetsons, to be
delivering the beluga caviar to the oil derrick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So I got my stories out of order. That was the hybrid VTOL cargo drone, and the next one is an agri drone. This is the one that I did want to show John. Let's try that again. So this is the spray drone. So for those who did watch Ken's show the other day, this was on there. But they're using a generator on board there that's petrol fed, and it's going and generating the electricity to power the aircraft.
I would not write it.
Okay. I'm feeling a little bit deflated by the lack of a guest and the fun that we're having with Wirecast today. This is not a beta test version. This is a production version.
Yeah.
That's supposedly ready for production use. Let's stop that clip there.
Yeah. I mean, that sprayer, that is a good idea, but it looks, this was my observation last night, it looks so out of balance that it actually didn't look that safe. I wouldn't want to be around it while I was flying down a field. I mean,
one thing I was thinking when I was watching it last night was if they used some internal pumps to go and use fluid as a balance technique across it as well, maybe that could help improve the stability, because
because it looked very unstable. And
it did.
I can't see that replacing uh, 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 a pilot.
Yeah,
Crop duster. Man, brain fart there. Sorry.
Yeah. I think the idea is okay. The interesting bits are the generator on board.
Right.
But the balance in that needs a bit more work.
Yeah, either their gyro systems are not set up right to because they've got gyro systems in a lot of these now that they can compensate for that stuff.
Just imagine if you had that same aircraft with your generator up top in the middle, and let's say your liquid that you're going to be spraying in tanks that are below your center of gravity in the aircraft.
Right, yeah.
And you also had the ability to cross feed to balance your tanks, then that I think would be a lot more stable.
That's actually sort of what they do on aircraft now, fighter aircraft at least, because they have the wing tanks and they have the balance where they feed. Yeah. And because if they just take off one wing, well, then it's going to flip up, and that thing is so out of balance that to me, it looked like a giant weed whacker, just mowing down the field all at once. If it's for that would be great. But spraying, I didn't see where it's too effective yet. They got a lot of work to do on that one.
Yeah. What was this comment from E0? Lloyd did that joke on porpoise.
Referring to the flying, the drone delivery system that looked like a whale. I said delivering the caviar out to the oil rig. Yeah.
Okay.
I did that joke on porpoise.
Yeah. Well.
Porpoise. Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at the video on Ready Set Drone before, and they had the whale there, and I think that's not a very funny one to look at. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It is one of those days. I got 1, 2, 3 more clips. Let's just go through them and then have a little chinwag at the end. We've got a danger drone now. This one, we've just got some photos here. This is the Mexican drug cartels are now assassinating their enemies with improvised explosive-toting drones. The bombs attached to the drones consisted of Tupperware-like containers filled with C4 charges and ball bearings to act as shrapnel.
Ooh. Yeah.
Now, apparently, they're going and having drug cartel number 1 versus drug cartel number 2. And in this case, the drug cartels are actually raising fears about the killer drones. And experts are saying the designs for terrorist and criminal organizations are still unsophisticated, but they're going to get the job done.
Yeah, they've been using stuff like that overseas. I can't remember which one of the foreign dignitaries they attacked using a very similar type system. They took a drone, flew it over, and I think it was in the Middle East somewhere. Flew it over and exploded it right above his limo. And it's just unfortunately the world we're living in. They take something as fun and as enjoyable as a drone and they turn it into a deadly machine, because there's bad people out there.
Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do the last 2 stories out of order. We'll go to the diving one first, the last one in the list, 1.12. Oh. Now this one, Janino T1, it's an underwater drone that's a consumer-grade gadget equipped with a robotic arm for movement using remotes, obviously, to navigate this underwater in real time for live streaming. But here's the interesting thing, the depth that it can get down to. And I'm just going to quickly click on the article because I forgot to make a note of that. 150 meters deep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep. Yeah.
Now, in a perfect world, you'd want a remote control thing without the tether, but ultimately the way radio waves work underwater, it's a little bit more complex to go and do something like that, but they've done it as a tethered submersible, but really cool toy.
You have a troll. You should feel honored.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him, but he's still a troll. This isn't the place for that.
Trump 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for that.
Yeah. Are you doing it or am I?
I'll just leave it. It doesn't matter.
Just leave it?
Unless he continues. Unless
Yeah.
he continues.
Yeah.
Okay,
Actually,
and our
2020.
Yeah, Lloyd for president. Absolutely. Our last story of the day. This one is the Dead Sea, and in this one, as I go back to looking at that from the other story, Israel's Percepto has emerged as a global market leader in autonomous industrial drone systems, but this particular one, they've got some really cool footage of the Dead Sea. It's an interesting subject matter. I just thought it'd be a cool one to end on.
Yeah. Is all that white around there, is that salt related to the Dead Sea? Is it?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So it's definitely been one of those days today. Now, I don't know why earlier on it was putting up those random titles. What did we do to fix that? Do you know what we did? I'm asking my producer now. You did the off on thing. Okay. And I don't know. Sorry, Lloyd.
As far as I know, the Titler Live thing that I'm using is working. So, which is something fixed.
Yeah, so I use, just for everyone, I use Titler Live as long as he hits the like, he can stay. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. He won't get no argument from me.
Yeah. So I want to share with people the experience today. Everything worked, I think, with the exception of number one, John, the comms for that, and number two, the Titler Live thing. Was there anything else?
The only thing I saw a problem with, and I rebooted and everything before I even came in, was being able to use. I couldn't get my Wirecast to show. It didn't even show in the list of cameras that I had available.
Virtual cameras. I think that's probably a Microsoft operating system or Chrome update that's caused that problem. I don't think that one's Wirecast. So I'm going to be fair and not put that on them.
That was something new that I haven't had in a long time. So that's what I'm saying. It was just something I got to get it fixed before Monday, because otherwise, actually, I'm not doing a show Monday. That's a good thing we're talking right now, because it is Labor Day here in it's the one day a year that we give all the socialists time to have a party. I mean, the labor people to have, it's everybody gets a day off free of charge from the government. And
in Australia, they officially call it a picnic day in the award agreements instead of Labor Day. But
so I'm not going to be doing a show Monday, which I have one scheduled. I'll reschedule it for the following Monday because I may be doing cookouts with my kids. You know, they may decide to fix the old man and mama some dinner. So, last hoorah of the season.
Yeah. Anyway, look, we finished early, very early, because I was very much thrown by all of that other stuff. We can't do Stump the Yank because you're the stumper and there's no stumpee, so we can't do that.
Yeah, nobody showed up today, so I put it up there, but guess everybody's bashful.
We can't do that because we need another person, so we can't do that.
Right, yeah, so we pretty well ran the gambit on this show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So if you
Don't
do
forget-
want to send us something, upload at gregkuhnert.com, send it in. I'd love to include that in the following week to come. Please do follow us on Twitter, Twitch, DLive, Facebook, anything else you can think of, OzByDrone. And there's a postal address if you want to send anything physical, 5/127 Princess Highway, Sylvania, New South Wales, 22224.
Thunderbird said they're talking. You were asking about how she fixed the title problem, and you said, "Oh, the on-off thing." You know, says,
Look,
that's what Agent K said. And then Thunderbird 6 says she hit it with a 3-toed slog.
Hang on. Here's what we're going to do. Right now, just so that we can document this problem, I want to share with everyone what it is that we see. Now, let me just do this. Don't switch anything yet, baby.
Oh, did you get that thing working?
I got it working, yes. That's another story.
Don't drop it and break it again.
So, over here, on the top row over here is the title shot. Now, I'm not turning that off or on. That's the only place where that shot appears. Down here, this is the layer. Layer number 4 is the place where we are switching between this view and Lloyd in full screen. That green button there is queued up, ready to go.
Right.
Now, theoretically, if we're changing that layer, it shouldn't pop up a title because the title is not on that layer. But I'm going to press the Go Live button now.
Yep.
And it didn't do it. Why did it not do it then, but it did it before?
Yeah, that's why I have a simple stream deck over here with pictures of everything that shows me exactly what I'm doing so that I don't make that mistake. I do.
We weren't making a mistake. It was Wirecast.
Yeah, I know. It is. It is. Yes, T-Bird, we're going to have barbecued 3-toed slog on Monday.
E0, you saw some flickering when we did the NLD images. That's actually a bug in VLC. VLC is a media player that we use to play out the videos, and we screen capture that. And for some weird unknown reason, there's a bug where it glitches on the screen. It's got nothing to do with Wirecast. So I won't count that one as theirs either.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been a fun show. I had fun.
I need a drink. Okay. We will leave it there for today. Thank you for watching this forsaken show today. We'll see you next week. By the way, next week is theoretically our global fly-in, but it's also the week
Friday night before. Yeah, it's the Friday night before in the U.S. It's the Friday night before Kelly Shore's spin up.
So it's the day before. So spin up hasn't started when we go to air. Is that right?
No, spin up doesn't start until I think Geeks Fauna is doing a show at 8:00 Saturday morning, which is when they're doing the pre-warm-up show. He's doing a pre-show. And then so yeah, no, it'll be Saturday our time. So you can still do your Friday night show. As far as I know, he's not doing anything Friday night.
Okay. Look, so plan is next weekend is global flying again. We'll get as many people as we can. We'll try and hopefully ask some people to go and do the FPV version as well and bring them into the stream. So that's next weekend.
Yes.
So that's all for today. I'm going to go and have a drink. I'll see you next time. Last words from you, Grumpy.
I'm going to go have a nap.
Before we go, I want to share one last thing, and this is something that happened earlier today. Grumpy was saying that he needed to get around to doing something, and I asked him to go and get a piece of paper.
Yeah.
I asked him to get a piece of paper. Have you got that piece of paper there on your desk?
No, I don't. I left it in the kitchen where I was at, but yeah.
I asked him to draw a circle on the piece of paper. And then I ask him to write 4 letters on the piece of paper, TUIT.
I got to the TUI before I realized what he just said, because I said I had to get around to it. And I put the circle, a TUI. Oh, man, bite me, Greg. I fell for it. I walked right into it. I just, he got me on that one today. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to be around in Discord today. I'm in a uncomfortable mood about how Wirecast went. I'm going to try and work out a few things, but I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the show. See you next time. Bye for now.